Hello, welcome to this presentation of the Ansoff Matrix. It is presented by me, Mohammad Bawany, and my partner Venkatesh Matha. So let's start with the introduction. Ansoff Matrix is a strategic marketing planning tool. It is basically taught in every basic marketing class. What it does is that it links a firm's marketing strategy with its general strategic direction where it wants to go with its new product, and then it gives you 4 alternate solutions which it lists in a table. This is the Ansoff matrix. There are 4 parts to it. First is the market penetration, then product development, then market development, and then diversification. So now what the firm can do is then take its product and define what the product is. Either it's a new product or an existing product, and then it can also see whether is it a new market or an existing market. And then by placing this product on this table, it can devise a strategy accordingly. Well, we'll start with market penetration. This involves an increasing market share within existing market. We see many firms try to do this as they want to enter a new market. Most of the companies, what they do is they charge their prices very low according to the competition, or they just enter a new market entirely. Now, by charging very low, they can easily create a demand for the product, and then more people start buying it, and then you increase loyalty amongst customers. A very best example of this can be considered as McDonald's premium coffee. It was a direct competition to Starbucks, but they started off very cheaply and it created a demand for McDonald's coffee, and now it's now counted as a direct competitor to Starbucks coffee. Pizza Hut can also be taken in this example because when the depression hit, Pizza Hut started their $10 pizza deal. That was considered a very big marketing change because that brought the price down of all pizza places. Even Domino's, Papa John's, they all brought their prices down to compete with Pizza Hut. Market development. This strategy is finding new markets for your existing products. Most of the big firms, what they do today is they just go internationally because there are lots of places around the world that are not being explored yet. Recently we can see that iPhones, they were first released in the USA, even Android phones. They're first released in the USA. Then as the product gets more popular in the USA, internationally the demand starts increasing because the whole world is interconnected through the internet. So when you increase demand in somewhere else other than the USA, so companies start shipping their product to there, and then thus it creates a new market. Recently iPhone started selling in China, in Japan, in Korea. Google was also seen launching their products in the same country because they have created a demand that didn't exist before. Also, another example can be taken is that Dell is selling their old PCs, the Pentium 4 Dell Latitude series, if you know what I'm talking about. They are selling these to developing nations, mostly in Africa and in Asia. They're selling these old outdated technology in developing countries where there are no computer systems, and then they created a new market for computers where there were no computers. They're just selling their old useless technology which is considered outdated, much outdated as in terms of today, and they're selling it in these in these developing countries, and they have created a new market and they are selling very. Product development. This involves developing a new product for your existing markets. Mostly everyone is in product development because of the technological changes happening is so sudden. Most firms come out with new things. We can see that in the iPhones, every year there is a new iPhone to keep up with the technological change and the demand of the consumers. So are other companies doing it. Samsung introduces the new phone. You can see also the same thing with iPads, your laptops, your computers, your monitors, everything you see these days. They are focusing on creating new products so they can be a step ahead of the competition. The last part of the Ansoff matrix is diversification. Now I'll hand it over to my partner Venkatesh. He will introduce you to diversification and different forms of diversification.
Hey, this is Venkatesh Matha. I want to talk about final strategy of Ansoff matrix, which is diversification. and I'm also going to talk about different types of diversification. First of all, diversification is a business development strategy to increase profits by selling new products, usually products that are different from the current products. It is risky considering that the company is going towards a whole new business, because the more an organization moves away from what it has done in the past, the more uncertainties are created. However, if implemented wisely and new business succeeds, it helps keep the company stable even in hard times, since the economic downturn usually occurs simultaneously in all sectors and all markets. There are five different types of diversification: horizontal diversification, vertical diversification, concentric diversification, heterogeneous or conglomerate diversification, and corporate diversification. First, horizontal diversification is acquiring or developing new products or offering new services that could appeal to the company's current customer groups. In this case, the company relies on sales and technological relations to the existing product lines. For example, a dairy using cheese adds a new type of cheese to its products. Second type of diversification is vertical diversification. It occurs when the company goes back to previous stages of its production cycle or moves forward to subsequent stages of the same cycle. The third type of diversification is concentric diversification. It is enlarging the production portfolio by adding a new product with the aim of fully utilizing the potential of the existing technologies and marketing system. The concentric diversification can be a lot more financially efficient as a strategy, usually used by small producers of consumer goods. The fourth type of diversification is heterogeneous or conglomerate diversification. It is moving to new products or services that have no technological or commercial relation with current products, equipment, distribution channels, but which may appeal to a new groups of customers. The major motive behind this kind of diversification is the high return on investment in the new industry. The final diversification is corporate diversification. It involves production of unrelated but definitely profitable goods. It is often tied to large investments where there may also have high returns. Diversification of business activities brings competitive advantages, allowing companies to reduce business risk. That is why it is a great tool for business development. However, its successful implementation requires profound knowledge and thorough preliminary assessment of the company and its environment. And although sometimes diversification is difficult for the small companies, it can prove to be inevitable when their original markets become unviable. In conclusion, this video explains Ansoff Matrix and its four marketing strategies. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.